Trying to find dry patches of ground to walk on across Xavier Martin's rural New South Wales farm takes a bit of practice.
So if I step on that, and then over there, I'm across without sinking into the mud.
That's because his fifth-generation farm in the state's Liverpool Plains has received the kind of rains rarely seen before.
Well, that's a 1 in 100-year flood.
Turning shallow creeks into rivers and soaking fields right before critical harvests.
This is a big turnaround in a matter of weeks, to go from promise to a punishing result.
What makes this even more devastating is realizing what farmers across the region have already endured: a crippling extended drought and most recently, a devastating mouse plague.
And then of course along came this very wet October and November, our springtime, giving those mice a fair bit of swimming lessons really, and look, the crop just got better and better.
But the rains kept on coming, in many cases sinking any chances of a healthy, profitable crop. It's the result of a La Nina weather pattern, typically associated with greater rainfall and cooler temperatures.
Our issue at the moment is that we already have quite wet soils, quite full rivers, and quite high catchments at the moment. So any further rainfall raises the risk of widespread flooding, particularly in southeastern Australia.
The timing of the wet weather has been most damaging, when mature winter crops were nearing harvest and summer crops recently planted. In some cases, farmers have lost both.
30, 40, perhaps even more than 50% of that value has been lost. So you multiply that across the landscape and you've got a multi-billion-dollar loss, and then you multiply that for the economic effect on the state, and we're seriously starting to talk about a $10 to $20 billion hit on the state economy.
The damage isn't just confined to agriculture. The normally mild creek behind me swelled to such a level about here on me that it took out much of the guardrail, the earth around it, and flooded into a nearby paddock.
Other parts of the country have been impacted, in some cases closing roads and cutting off entire towns. While farmers are known for their resilience, the latest challenge is tough to cope with.
Well, some of them have called it quite a gut punch.
So is the extended forecast, with wetter than normal conditions expected to continue right through the summer. Greg Navarro, CGTN, Malali.